Hey guys, it's Jen with Urban Fitness, and today's workout is for best time. So the equipment that you will need today is either a medicine ball, a kettlebell, or some moderate heavy dumbbells. Now I am not going to use these dumbbells because they are not heavy enough for me. I want moderate to heavy dumbbells. You will also need a stopwatch either on your watch, or I recommend getting a Gym Boss interval timer, and you will set it to your stopwatch time. Now make sure if you are new to fitness or if you have an injury that you talk to your doctor to make sure that this program is right for you. In this workout today, there are 3 phases to the workout. In each phase, there's 3 exercises, and you'll be performing each exercise 20 reps. You need to do each phase 3 times before you move on to the next exercise or next phase. So let's get started and see how you do. Make sure you time yourself with your timer and then post your results on the fitness blog below the workout and let us know how you did. Your first exercise is going to be a squat press. So again, you can either use a medicine ball or you can hold your kettlebell, and you'll be holding your kettlebell like this for the squat press. I'm going to use the medicine ball today. So you're going to hold your medicine ball and you're going to squat. Your feet are about between hip and shoulder width apart. Down, and you're going to press up. The movement is coming through the hips. So you're trying to get power from your legs to move the weight up above you. So it's all coming from the legs and the hips. So you're squatting and you're pushing up. And you're trying to get as many reps as you can, as fast as you can. Keeping your core tight. Be careful that you're not dropping down like this. You need to keep your head and shoulders up, core in, squat, use your glutes, shoot through with the hips to get the arms up. If you don't use your hips and your legs for the weight to gain momentum, you're going to be using a lot of arms, and your arms are going to get tired quite quickly. So you want to use the power from your legs and your hips to get the weight of the medicine ball or the kettlebell up above your head. Alright, so immediately after you do the squat press, you're going to drop and perform 20 bum drop push-ups. I don't know what else to call them. Alright, so you're going to go into a plank position, plank push-up position. You're going to take your one leg, bring it across. You're going to lift the opposite hand, flip around, touch your bum to the ground. Keep your shoulders back. Make sure you're sitting somewhat closer to your hand. If you sit too far down towards your foot, you're going to strain your rotator cuff. So you need to drop your bum close to your hand, flip back around, push up, other side, leg comes across, drop your bum, flip around, push up. Remember, if you can't do a full push up, drop to your knees, do the push up, come back up to here, take it across, drop down, knees, push up, core is tight. Make sure again that you're not arching your back. Keep your core pulled in, shoulders down. You want to be nice and strong. Remember, if you do the exercises incorrectly, you're working the wrong muscles and you could set yourself up for an overuse injury or a strain. Alright, so immediately after you do your bum drops, you're going to jump back up. You can do a high knee run, 20 reps as fast as you can. So it's knees up, 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to get those knees up. It helps to have your hands in front. Get your knees up to your hands while you're running. Perform 20. Each leg is 1 rep. Then you'll move on, start over again into the squat press with either your kettlebell or your medicine ball, bum drop push-ups, back into your high knee run again. Remember, you need to do this whole phase of 3 exercises 3 times before you move on to the next phase. Alright, now that we've completed phase 1, 3 rounds, we're moving on to phase 2. This is the first exercise of phase 2, and you're going to do side lunge to your right. Alright, so you're going to step off to your right. This knee's bending, you're pushing your hips back, this leg stays straight. Keep your core tight, shoulders back, head up. So you're going to squat down and push up. So you're lunging to the side, push. The deeper you go, the harder it is. Remember also, the faster you go, the harder you're working your glute, hamstring. Keep the weight on your heels. Remember, whenever you're doing squat lunge, Weight on your heels means glutes, hamstring. Weight on your toes is overworking your quads and your knees. So always stick your bum out. Again, side view, you're stepping to the side, push your hips back. Keep the weight on your heel, core must stay tight. All right, so you're gonna do this exercise, 20 reps, you're gonna flip around, do the other side, step and push. Keep your core tight. You're trying to get 20 reps as fast as possible. Keep the one leg that is not working straight as you push in your hips, bending your knee on the other leg that you are working. Your second exercise for the second phase is mountain climbers. So you're going to get down on your mat into a plank position. Your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Lift your knees up. Make sure your core is pulled in nice and tight. You're bringing your knee up towards your chest and you're going to run through it. So each foot coming in is 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to count up to 20. Again, make sure your core is tight. Shoulders are away from the neck. Be very careful that you don't arch the back. Keep your core in to support that spine. As soon as you've done your mountain climbers, you're going to jump up for the third exercise in the second phase. They're turning jump squats. So you're going to squat down, touch the floor or come close to touching the floor. You're going to jump up and turn to the other side. Squat, touch with the other hand. So as you jump, you're touching, keeping your weight on your heels as you squat. Now make sure you land softly and that you're not slamming your feet into the floor. You want your knee and hip to absorb the shock and the impact. Core stays tight to support. Again, I cannot stress this enough. When you're squatting, make sure you're bending your knees, keeping your core tight. This is not a squat. You need to have your bum down, weight on your heels. So you're jumping up, squat down. Then we'll move on to the third phase of the exercises. All right, so now we're moving on to phase 3 of our 3-part workout. In this phase, you're doing oblique leg lifts. We're going to start lifting with the left side, then we'll move on to the right. So you're going to sit on the ground with your legs in front. Your hands are going to be back. Make sure your shoulders are back. You don't want to stress your rotator cuff or your neck by sinking into it, so make sure you keep your shoulders back. We're going to bend our elbows just a bit. So now once we're in this position, you're going to tilt onto your right bum cheek or your right hip slightly. Your legs are going to extend out. Now I want you to imagine that your ankle bone is going straight up to the roof. Keeping your core tight, pulling your hip bone towards your rib cage as you do so. So it's going to go up. You're pumping your arms slightly, pulling your core in. This is not pumping the knees. This is the ankle bone going straight up. So the angle of the knee stays constant throughout this exercise. The motion is pulling the hip towards the rib cage, up, down. Then once you do 20 on that side, you're going to flip over to the left bum cheek. So we're working our right obliques. Same thing, same angle on the legs. Knees are bent, core is pulled in, pelvic floor engaged. And you're going to lift that ankle bone up to the ceiling, pulling the hip up to the rib cage. Keeping those legs at the same angle, not pumping the legs. So keep this tight. The motion is the hip bone pulling up towards the rib cage as you lift the legs up to the ceiling. We're going to move on to the second exercise of the third phase. All right, so now that you've done your oblique leg lifts, we're going to move into a skydiver. So this is exercise 2 of the third phase. You're going to get onto your tummy on the floor. Now, you're going to extend your arms above your head. Make sure when you do any extension of the spine that you're engaging your glutes and your pelvic tilting, pushing your pubic bone into the floor to keep your hips anchored. Once you do that, you're actually making sure that your glutes are working instead of the low back. So maintain that pelvic tilt, contract your core, shoulder blades are down. You're now going to extend your arms and your legs up off the floor. You're going to draw your elbows back towards your rib cage, arms up and down. So full skydiver, you also want to maintain your nose to the floor. So I'm going to put my nose down and I'll do 1 rep. Alright, so you're going to do 20 reps of those, keeping your core nice and tight. We're going to flip over and we're going to do the third exercise of phase 3. All right, so we're moving on to the third exercise of the third phase, and it's our favorite, burpees. All right, so to do a burpee, we're not doing the push-up in the burpee today. We're just doing the jump and the get down. So you're gonna squat down, place your hands on the floor, make sure the weight's on the floor, and you're gonna jut your feet out behind you. Core tight, feet are separated about shoulder width apart. Once your feet extend out, you're gonna come up and jump as high as you can. So you're gonna do as fast, as many reps as you can, keeping your core tight. So you're gonna go down, out. Make sure when you put your feet out fast that you're not arching your back. So again, coming down, core tight, in, up. And that's it. Do 3 rounds of that, and then your workout's done.